Yeah, good morning, guys. It's been a while here. How are you doing today? And happy weekend to you all. Right now, I want to show you how you can make a simple and professional Christmas party on your Android smartphone as usual using your PixelLab. In order to achieve this particular design, we need to follow 3 steps. The first step, think of the color and the font we want to use. Font pairing and the color we want all our design to have. The second step, where are we going to source all the elements which we are going to use? And the last steps, how are we going to follow the principle and all the hierarchy in making our design superb? All these highlighted mentioned is what I'm going to teach you right now. So without wasting much of our time, let's get started. The first thing, let's determine the background size. So I want to use a square size, which is also called a custom size, which is 120 by 1267, as you can see. After that, the next thing we're going to do is to determine the background color. So the color which I'm going to use will be a general color, which is very, very awesome. So I'm going to use this color. Depends on your choice. You can use any other color, but I decided to use this. So I want to make this by coming back here. We have this. Then I want this to be at the bottom, the deeper one, while this be at the top because of the blending. Now after achieving that, I'm heading directly to my gallery, importing some of my images which I want to use. Rotate this to the left, have it click, and you position it perfectly as shown like this. After this has been done, you make sure that there is no any line dot or any mistake. You make sure after that's been set, you have it lock without any issue. If you look at it critically, that it is not as big as you expect, you increase the size a little bit and you make sure that you reposition for it to take a much line space so that everything will actually plan. After setting this right, you make sure that you lock it so that your hand will not be moving or touching the position. After that's been set, then we heading back to our gallery. We look at all the elements we want to use. So the image I want to use is this. So I will make sure that it's being positioned to the center perfectly. After that's been done, I'll go back to layer and lock it. Heading back to gallery, import other element, arrange just as shown here, or if you have any other better way around to position your image, but make sure you follow the hierarchy. So I'm positioning this here just as perfect as this. Just let it be around there. Now to make it more free, so I will make sure that I tap on this particular image, then I move it to one side a little bit for it to be able to have a breathing space. Now that has been sacked and has been done. Heading back to the gallery, locate other elements which you want to use. So take it for instance, I want to use this. So this should be at the top of this particular image. Position it perfectly. Then you're heading back to the gallery. Bring another template. The element you want to use. Automatically placing it with aspect ratio. Heading back to the gallery, repeat the process by bringing other elements which you want your design to contain, just as I'm showing you. So after repositioning everything, you make sure that all the element is being selected first, then the rest will be simple to deal with. So I want to bring out this location icon, so position it to a proper place. Heading back to the gallery, I want us to position everything as shown here. So after position it, then the rest will be simple. So bringing back the last one, which is the social media icon, and you position it to the center. So now after that has been done, then we'll have to lock everything so that our hand will not be touching it. So after everything has been lacked, then the next thing we are going to do is to head into our shape area, having a particular shape being grabbed and position it at the tab corner. Position it at the tab corner here, grab it perfectly. Heading back to your color, then we select this particular color combination. Okay, good. Then we can deal with this by make sure that we have a brighter color towards the edge, so that it will be able to make it more obvious and presentable. So now you can see this is cool as being shown. So the next thing we are going to do after that's been done, we heading back to the gallery. As our opacity should be 0, then increase your stroke a little bit to something like 2 or 3, depends on how you want it. Now use it to circle this particular area so that you can add an hierarchy to that. So position it here. Perfect. Then you change the color so that it can be obvious. So change the color to white. Could it be okay? Could be perfect. But one side will be shown while the other side will not be shown, but it's still perfect. Then you can see how it look. After that has been done, then the next thing to do, don't forget to make sure that you like your design. So we're heading back to the text area where we want to put in all our write-up. So you have, for instance, only. We have an only charge. You can see, right? Then we're heading back to gallery. We have all our prepared font pairing which you want to use, which I want you to learn from. So we come here, we have a font called a Cairo. We have imparted. So imparted will be the boss at this particular area because of how it look, very bold and very tall. It could be the best for the the font. The heading, the S line. So now after that has been done, then we select the kind of kinds of a color we want. So having select the color, so we just make sure that this only church are positioned around this particular place. Okay, very cool. So position that here. Why this will be reduced a little bit. So we are going to merge it together. After merging, then we are going to reduce. Okay, perfect. Now the next thing we are going to do with this, we need to do some other stuff, creative stuff here, by going and looking for other ribbon which we are going to use around this particular juncture. So let's take it for instance, we have an hairbrush Christmas, not this. So we're heading back to, okay, I'm looking for one particular element we want to use. We'll go here, then we have an Android, not this. We go to download area or device, alarm, Christmas party. So we reselect this. Okay, so after reselecting, we can automatically erase this, so it has not useful. Okay, so we'll go down here, we have this deleted. Okay, so after deleting it, we are going to reduce the size of this a little bit. So after reducing it, then we'll be able to position this around here. After position, then we can have it lock. Okay, after locking it, you can now have this position perfectly, just as perfect as this. Now the spacing between the letter should just be applied a little bit and with extra care. So after we position the only charge, then we have we type what we call a present. Okay, so after present, we get our color, we change it to black. But let's select the font we think of appearing with this. So let's use the note sand. Native sand could be the perfect for this particular area because it's not too bold and not too small, so could be the best. Reduce the size to a bare minimal level. You go to the spacing between the alphabets and you increase the space very well. After increasing that, make sure you position it at the bottom of this, then everything will be cool. That is hierarchy. Perfect. So the next thing we're going to do is to just proceed on our procedure by making sure that we come to this particular area. We have our what we call a Christmas party. So we have our Christmas where we use a font called a Cintel. We have a Cintel font. So we have a Cintel font. So that will make us to look at it and see how the thing look. We have a lot of Cintel fonts. So let's look at the one that is actually okay will be the best. This particular area, so we can just manage and use this. Okay, perfect. Then after that, we can increase the size, go back to the color combination, then we can buy our color just as perfect as this. Combine the color. Okay, combine the color and put a breathing space. So we are going to repeat the same process by copy. Then after copy, we have a party. Okay, absolutely perfect. Then you make sure that everything is so much in line. So we're going to reduce the size of this. So make sure that everything is actually in aligned properly. So you leave a little space in between after that has been done. Then after done that, then we're heading back to the shape area. Make the color change just drastically like this, or we select this, depends. It depends. So we select that. Then after that, we make sure that this we have a particular, just let's have this, we can just as perfect as this. Okay, cool. We'll make sure we have that, which should be around there. So after that has been done, we position it, bring it down. Okay, cool. So now we have that, which is very special. Then we are going to repeat the same process. Copy this. After copy, we are going to try if we can move. If we can, you are going to bring it down to a little bit. Then after that, you can drag. You can drag it. Okay, drag to this particular side, but let it just. Okay, perfect. Perfect, cool. So now this is cool, right? So the next thing we're going to do is to just relieve the band on this. So we are going to unlock this. After unlocking it, bring it and reduce the size a little bit. Have a position around there. Okay, cool. So we copy. We are going to position the same around there. Okay, cool. So now we have, and this can still be reduced a little bit. Okay, perfect. Now you can lock it. Make sure you lock the previous one as well. Lock, and everything is actually plumb. Okay, cool. So the next thing we're going to do, we are going to put in all our write-ups at this particular juncture. So which we are going to copy this. So where we have our Sunday, we have Sunday 25th. So we have Sunday 25th December. Okay, so if this should be okay, and we are going to position it to the center. Now close the space in between. Perfect. So now we change the color. Okay, cool. The size can still be reduced a little bit, depends on our choice. So after that, release the space. Okay, good. So the next thing we're going to do, we can still increase more. Okay. So the next thing we're going to do is to just we are going to position that around there, which is perfect, right? So after that, we have we are going to have our two line. We have our two line just as this. Okay. Just position it here, and will be very tiny. Copy. So after copy, we are going to bring this cam down here. Okay, cool. Okay, absolutely cool. Perfect. So now the next thing we are going to do, just to put a finishing touch to that, we are going to just copy the two, mark the two at the same time. So increase it. Just increase to make it align. That is the essence. So after making it align, then the rest are so simple. Just go to the text area, then you have dates. We have dates. We have dates. Okay, perfect. Then the next thing we're going to do is to just make sure we bold it. Go to the color, then you apply a black color or color any way you want it. Then position to the center first. Have it reduced to a bare minimal level. Okay, cool. So move it towards this curve shape. Okay, then move it gently. You can now increase the size since we know how it look now. Perfect. Position to the center very well. Now we're done with that, and everything is actually planned the way we want. So we just need to pay more attention on how we want our things to be. So as it is, I'm going to move this towards this particular area for me to be able to do the necessary change. So the next thing I'm going to do right now is to go to my to shape. So getting to the shape, I'm going to apply this. Applying that has to be positioned around there, just a little bit perfect. Then I'm going to just make sure that these are heading towards this particular area. Reduce the size a little bit, not as much and not too small. So after that has been positioned, then the next thing we're going to do is to go to the shape again. We crop our shape, then we apply this particular color or something much obvious than that. Then after that's been done, we are going to use that to cover this particular mesh. Okay, just gently. So we cover this area. Good. Okay, cool. So the next thing we're going to do, put in all our write up and put a finishing touch to everything. So we have 12 p.m. We have our 12 p.m. sharp. We have our 12 p.m. sharp. Then we go to the color, then you apply our white color to this. So have that position here. Reduce the size a little bit. Okay, reduce the size. Make sure you do it as if you position it to the center by maintaining that particular shape. Then we are going to copy then we have sharp. Okay, this is cool, right? So make sure the sharp is underneath. Very cool. Position it down. Okay, perfect. So now the here we want to use something different, where we have our $20. So we have our $20. Okay, $20. Then we use a font called Biba font. I believe that will be the best for this. So we use font called Biba font, and we increase the size and reduce later after moving to this particular area. Okay. Now that we already positioned this well, then we are copy from this particular font area where we have our ticket. We have our ticket. Okay, we have our ticket. Then we can reduce the size, change the color, which will be very okay. Okay, cool. Then we need to reduce the size very well. Okay, perfect. Now reposition this should be increase the space in between. Perfect. So now we are done with majority of our design. So the next thing we are going to do here, just to close this space, which is much around there, we are going to bring this one down. Then we'll bring this one down a little bit as well, which is cool like this. So after that has been done, then the next thing to do is to just we copy this particular shape text. We have live weight. Okay, we have live weight. The size should be reduced anyway. Then we'll have the position around there. Okay, cool. We're going to copy the same, then put it there. DJ Cax. Increase the size a bit. Reduce the space in between. Then reduce the size now. Perfect. Then let it be properly aligned. Okay, cool. Then you are going to move it up a bit. Okay, perfect. Cool. So the next thing we're going to do, where we hang this, need to be positioned here. We need to position that here. Put out the address, then have it lock. Yeah, we have it lock. Then after that, we are going to copy this. You can still reduce it a bit anyway. Okay, perfect. So then copy. While we put in our address, we have a Camel Lane. We have 234 Jasu City /town. Okay, perfect. So now reduce the size here. The space in between should be automatically closed. Have a position around there. Change the color to something touch of red, just as this. This is cool, right? Okay, perfect. We need putting more lane AK areas. Okay. Guinea. Okay, this is perfect, right? Now we need to bold it because it has to do with address. The spacing between the letter is very important. Then the next thing we need to do is to just put in our we need to put in our the social media handle, which is this, has to be around there. Okay, put it here. Then you have it lock back. Just lock it. Now we put in our social media handle, that is early church. We'll have our social media handle, Holy Church. Okay. So now that has been done, we can now go back to the shape, bold it, go to the color area, then we'll change our color. Okay, perfect. We can have this reduce a bit anyway, but it's as cool as this. Only church, that is underscore. Only church underscore. Okay, underscore Christmas. Perfect. So you pay more attention. It's not about how much font you can buy. It's all about how much you can follow this principle. Okay, so now everything is actually rhyme. Make sure you recheck properly for spelling error, and you can see everything is actually plumb here. I'm thinking of adding this if it work. Okay, perfect. And now the next thing we're going to do, we're almost done with everything. The next thing we're going to do is to just add a particular letter, this. Okay, so this need to be added. Okay, so it could be the perfect option. Just position it here anyway, and after position it, we're going to send that to the back, then we'll bring it back. Okay, so it should be here. We copy, then have a position, we copy, we position. Okay, we copy, we are going to position just to cover this particular area. Now everything is done. Click OK. Now we're able to perfect that particular area with blending, as you can see. So we look at the images as well, whether we can, what we can do with the images. So now we already relieved the images and everything is perfect. So now the next thing to do is to just go to this shape. So after that, our opacity should be 0, then our stroke should be something like 2. So after that has been done, we come here by reducing the size, rotate it, so it should be around this particular line. So change the color to something like this. It could be this. Okay, so let it be something like this or this. So after it is something like that, then we reduce the size to something like this. So after that, we copy. After copy, then there should be a kind of reposition just as perfect as this, and everything is actually plumb. I believe we will learn something from here, because this is how we can come up with a particular design just as perfect as this. I believe we'll learn something from here. God bless you. Just make sure you just put a finishing touch by adding some of the touches like this. You can add whatever you actually wanted as long as it go along with what you are doing. So we can put in a touch just as perfect underneath under here, which make it to be cool. So thanks for watching once again. God bless you.